Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 334.
We woke up this morning here in our studio at Copper Creek to celebrate Robert's birthday. Not only is this his 30th birthday, it's also his golden birthday. So his mom and I decided the best way to celebrate would be for him to get up early and leave to go do the resort tour so that she and I could decorate the room while he was gone.
Now, to be fair, the resort tour is something I have been wanting to do here at Wilderness Lodge since I found out about it months ago. It just requires getting up a little earlier and being down there. I think at 8 o'clock was the time it started. So I did make it down there today, and this tour is a guided tour all around Wilderness Lodge. The guide takes you around and explains the history of Wilderness Lodge, the story of Wilderness Lodge, and also of Boulder Ridge, which is the DVC villa next to Wilderness Lodge. It was really cool to go around and learn all these different stories, to find out that one of the train pieces over in the Carolwood Pacific room at Boulder Ridge is actually one of the trains that was at Walt Disney's house in California back when he had that train at his house. So it was really cool to find out all those things, and our guide, Alan, was amazing. He's one of the rangers here at the resort who's out front greeting people when they get here, and he had a really cool story about how he got to talk on the phone to Walt Disney himself one day when he was a kid, basically because he was prank calling Disney Studios and asking to speak to Mr. Disney, and then he actually did get to speak to Mr. Disney one day, and it kind of shocked him, but he got to have a conversation, which is really cool. We finished up the tour up at Artist Point on that balcony they don't really use during the regular dining times. It's more for private events. He also gave me a copy of all the information we went over today, not his personal stories, of course, but the story of Wilderness Lodge. I got a picture with him, and then I headed back down to the room.
When he got there, his mom and I had decorated the room. I actually had balloons that were a 3 and a 0 that I carried around all year long that Robert did not know about, and I didn't realize how big these were. I actually thought they were about 6 inches or 12 inches. I guess it never occurred to me to look at the size of them. They took forever to blow up, so I'm really glad the tour took a while because she and I spent forever working on these. And then we did have our other little gifts. I had asked her to bring some bags and some tissue paper so I could put my presents in them because I don't have any because, you know, we're living at Disney World. So she brought some stuff, and I had gone live on my personal Facebook and blocked Robert from it and asked friends and family to send birthday cards to his mom, and she brought them down. So he had a ton of cards to open. Some of them were really cool, some of them were fun, some of them were silly. It was just a really fun way to start the day, and I was really happy that he had a lot of things to open because that was my concern being here in the resorts. I wouldn't have like a lot of gifts for him, or he wouldn't have a lot to open. I had a card for him, of course, and a gift, but I was hoping he'd have more than that, and he did. So many friends and family sent cards. It was so much fun.
It was a great surprise, and after I finished opening all of those, we actually had to leave because I found out that my sister had sent me a gift, and it was here at the P.O. box. So we drove over there and picked that up. I did open it right there in the parking lot. It was a really cool t-shirt that she made that is the shape of a Christmas tree, but made out of all kinds of Star Wars ships and things. It's one of my favorite Star Wars shirts that I have because it's Christmas and Star Wars, and I still wear it to this day. And after we were done there, we left and took my mom over to the apartment complex that we decided we're gonna move into. Went and toured the model with her, showed it to her, got her thoughts on it, making sure that we're thinking right because we don't wanna just be infatuated with the location or the room or whatever. We wanna make sure we're making a good decision. She loved it, we loved it, so okay, we're good. We're gonna come back and sign a lease later, but now we know for sure this is where we wanna go. When we left the apartments, we headed back over to Wilderness Lodge, just a quick drive there, and then took a bus over to Epcot. We do wanna go to a couple parks today and spend some time in the parks, or I do, and I get to decide because it's my birthday. When we got to Epcot, it was the Festival of the Holidays. I took some pictures outside of the flowers and the sign, and then I came inside and took pictures of the festival booklets. They do have the food booths during the festival as well as the cookie stroll, which is a lot of fun. We're not gonna try and do all that stuff today, but it is something we're gonna try to do a little bit later.
We first headed to the very long line to get the pass holder magnets because Robert's mom is a pass holder, and since she's here for just a couple days, we want to make sure she can get them, and we haven't gotten ours yet anyway. So we waited in line. They were super adorable. I know a lot of people were concerned because they were smaller, but it was Chip and Dale. I mean, we get 2 characters, 2 magnets instead of 1. How great is this? and it's Chip and Dale, the lovable duo that we all love so much. We then decided to go ride Living with the Land because it does have the Christmas overlay. It is during the day, which doesn't really make the light part work really well, but there are so many other decorations that they include that you don't really get to see at night, and since we won't be here in the evening anyway, we really wanted to see this. And this overlay is beautiful. I really recommend seeing it during the day and at night because you really get to see the lights all lit up, and there's a lot of stuff you won't get to see during the day. But when you ride it at night, there's a lot of stuff you won't get to see then either because it's not necessarily lit up. It's just kind of in there in the background. After we rode Living with the Land, we considered riding Soarin', but it had a really long wait, and we do have several things we want to do today, so we headed out. And I told Robert and his mom we had to go to Mission Space. Now that's a really weird thing for me to say because I do not ride Mission Space. I'm like, no, there's something I have to get for you. There was a specific gift that his other sister wanted me to get for him, and I have not been able to find it anywhere, no matter what I do. And a cast member that I was talking to told me I could find it at the gift shop at Mission Space, which is somewhere I would have never looked. So I said, we have to go there. You guys can ride the ride if you want to, but I need to go in the gift shop, so you can't come with me. So they waited outside. I went inside and purchased this gift and came back out. Gave it to Robert, finally found it. I was texting his sister like, guess what? It's here. She was so excited. So I took some pictures so she could see his reaction.
This Mandalorian mug is so cool and like she said, hard to find because right before The Mandalorian came out, there was a lot of merchandise that started showing up in the parks. I happened to get one of the pins when it came out, and then when the show was actually released, all the merchandise sold out immediately because everyone realized they love the show. So I'm very glad that we were able to get this mug because they were hard to come by for a while there. We started walking towards World Showcase and stopped to watch Joyful for a few minutes. They were putting on a concert right there at the entrance to World Showcase. We really love watching them sing. They're a lot of fun and do a great job with the Christmas songs there. After the concert was over, we walked over towards Canada, over to the International Gateway. We're actually leaving Epcot and going over to Boardwalk. We had a friend in town that we did meet up with while they were here, and then they forgot to leave my birthday card for me, so they left it with Bell Services at Boardwalk. We told them we'd walk over there and get it, no problem. We got there, and it was the most adorable Mickey Mouse card. I absolutely loved it. But only after I went inside, got the card, came back out to the boardwalk and opened the card, did I realize that it was actually all just an elaborate ruse. Yes, it was a real birthday card, but it was just an excuse to get us over to Boardwalk.
Because my friend was in on the plan, I had ordered a cake for Robert's birthday from the Boardwalk Bakery, but I needed a good reason to get over there besides saying I ordered you a cake, because I wanted it to be a surprise. So I had reached out to my friend because she was in town. We created this elaborate plan, which was really ridiculous, but a lot of fun. She was all for it. And his mom and I actually had a lot of fun saying, yeah, it's your card, so you can go get it. We'll just wait here on the boardwalk. We'll just sit here. We sounded really horrible. And then he came back, and of course we had a cake for him. We then walked over to Hollywood Studios and took a bus back to Wilderness Lodge so that we can sing happy birthday to Robert and eat the cake. We actually asked the manager of Club Level, because it was that in-between time where there's no food, could we sing happy birthday to him up there? We have a lot of people that we know up there now. We thought it'd be fun to sing with them. And I was a little concerned because there are a lot of candles on here. Didn't want to do that in the room. And the manager did agree. So it was really nice to have other people up there with us singing happy birthday. It wasn't just his mom and I. And there were a lot of candles that started melting the cake while they were burning. Birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday, dear Robert. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Make a wish! There's so many candles!
A lot of candles.
Happy 30th birthday! Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Here's Olive. His
Ear and
candles.
tail both started melting.
Melting. I'm melting. I am very glad that I took a lot of pictures of the cake before we lit the candles, because it did not look nearly as cute once the candles were in there and things started melting, but it was a lot of fun to watch.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a mousse cake, but
Yeah.
I've been told these cakes are delicious. We actually didn't start eating it right then. We're kind of hungry for real food, so we took the cake back to the room. We're gonna get some burgers from Geyser Point and just eat them there in the room. And when we got back to the room, we found that we actually had another surprise in the room, one that Alyssa did not plan this time.
I did not know about this at all. When we got there was another mousse cake. There were balloons, there were treats. Our cast member friends had surprised Robert and myself. I did not know about this. So now we have 2 Mickey Mouse cakes and a whole lot of treats in the room for us to enjoy.
We went and grabbed a couple burgers and came back and ate those, and of course ate some of that mousse cake, and it is delicious. Although I think they probably should call it Mickey Moose, just like the little things up at Coronado Springs Club level. Yeah, Mickey Moose is the new name of the cake. And after we finished eating, I was ready to go back to the parks, and Alyssa's like, no, we can't go yet. We have to do a photo shoot first. Like, that's just what every guy wants on his 30th birthday is a photo shoot. So we went over to the 5th floor and got a spot there where we could see the tree behind us and stuff. Kind of rearranged the furniture just a little bit temporarily and did some pictures.
Robert was a great sport going along with this. I kept telling him, okay, I'm going to try it from here. Okay, I'm going to do this. Put your arm up here. And he did. He went along with all of it. I took a ton of pictures, but you only turned 31. So I want to make sure we got lots of pictures today. And then we went back to the room and ate more cake because we burned a lot of calories doing this photo shoot.
And just to clarify, we did put the furniture back where we had moved it from before we left. After that second slice of cake, we were ready to go. We went down to the dock to go over to Magic Kingdom. They're open late tonight. We're very excited to go over there. It is Christmas time. It's so beautiful at Magic Kingdom at Christmas time. When we got to the dock, the boat wasn't there yet, but the water pageant was out. So we got to watch almost the entire show there on the dock while we're waiting for the boat. As it was finishing, the boat pulled up. It was perfect timing. We got over to Magic Kingdom and it was just about 3 minutes till the fireworks started. So we took a picture outside because it was really pretty and then headed right inside. And we were going to try and work our way up Main Street and then go ride some rides. But it was a little more crowded on Main Street than we were hoping. So we just kind of stopped and enjoyed the fireworks. And after they were over, enjoyed swimming upstream as everyone left the park and we're trying to get into the park. We do have some friends who are here in town and we're going to try and meet up with them and ride some rides together because they're only here for the day. And by the time we finally got to them, we were like, okay, we don't care what we ride at this point. We're just glad to not be in the crowd on Main Street anymore. We were talking and catching up with them. Of course, we introduced them to my mom and we worked our way over to Pirates of the Caribbean, which was the first ride we chose to ride together. We did have a lot of fun coordinating as a group for our photo where we intentionally looked to the wrong side and posed for the camera. We of course know that it's on the left, but you know, we posed for the right, and we actually got a couple people in the boat to look the wrong way too. That wasn't exactly our intention, but it was kind of funny.
We apologize if we ruined your photo. We did not mean to. We just thought it'd be a funny pose. It didn't occur to us that people would look the wrong direction for the photo. Should have thought that through. But we try and come up with creative things for the photos, and they don't always work the best. After we got off Pirates of the Caribbean, we decided to check the wait times, and they were all really low, which is awesome, but we don't have a ton of time left, so we want to stay somewhat near here. We decided to go to Haunted Mansion because that's just one we all love so much, and unfortunately Robert's photo did not come through, so I just have the one of his mom and me having a great time, and I don't have one of him on his birthday.
That seems to happen to me a lot. For whatever reason, my magic bands don't always trigger. I don't know why, but anyway, after we finished up with Haunted Mansion, we were running out of time in the evening, and we're like, okay, what else do we want to do? There's hardly anybody here. Let's go over and ride Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. That's a great way to end the night. There's no way there's going to be much of a wait. It says 5 minutes. It's going to be walk-on. Got there, and indeed it was walk-on, so we went and rode, and I was able to max out my score, so I feel like that's an accomplishment for my birthday right there.
When we got off the ride, the park was officially closed, so we headed to Main Street to take some pictures with Robert's mom and with our friends. We took quite a few different poses together with Robert by himself, again with our friends, all of us. It was a lot of fun. And even for only being here for 2 hours, we managed to ride 3 rides and watch the fireworks, which is really impressive. We probably could have done more had we actually been trying, but we were just visiting and having a great time together. And I feel like this was a really nice way to end his birthday, but it's not over yet. I don't have any more surprises up my sleeve. We did take the boat back to Wilderness Lodge. When we got to the room, we have not watched anything for Disney Plus today. So we opted for a short called Hawaiian Vacations. It's a Toy Story short. Super adorable if you haven't seen it, and it is indeed short because we were so tired by the time we got back to the room. We knew we wouldn't be able to stay up long enough to watch a full movie or even a show at this point. So we did watch the short, and then we got ready for bed, and that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
For our Year with the Ears.